Welcome back, Steelheads fans, to Steelheads Tonight, episode 10. Um, Steelheads haven't been doing too good as of late. They are on a six-game losing streak. Um, they got swept last week in a 3-3. Um, lost 6-3 to Kingston, 5-2 to Windsor, and 4-1 to Oshawa. Um, in Kingston, they had their good moments. They had the lead at one point,
Yeah, that was
but
fun.
they couldn't hold
That was short
on.
lived.
Yeah, I mean, Patton scored, I believe, twice, and then Eggleton scored the third one for the Steelheads. Um, but then everything went downhill. Like penalty trouble again, as it's been all season. Um, Luke Johnson didn't look horrible, but he didn't look good either. But 6-3, it was closer than it actually was, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I think it was like a 6-3 that felt like that just got away in the last few minutes. I feel like they were actually played really well that one game, and then it just kind of fell apart in those last few minutes because all of a sudden we're just getting notifications on our phones. Oh, they scored again, and we're like, what the heck just happened?
Then we go to Saturday, and Jakob Fibiger's return to CAA Center um, after his trade to Windsor, where Liam Greentree uh, was busy that day, scoring his 18th of the year and then assisting on two other goals. So he was busy. Fibiger got 1 point as well. And that one, Jason, Bowen again, shaky.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with words with what with Bowen now. Like I feel like we're just at that point in the season that we don't have words to describe it. It's like well, once was thought was a good move, like at the in the off season, we thought, oh, we got an experienced goalie. That's good. Like that's something we need. We need a guy like who has experience. But then it just turned it. This experiment has just turned into just nothing too great. And this is nothing against Bowen. Like he's a nice guy and all, but like we it's just frustrating the performance. Like I know goalies can have bad seasons, and I guess we're he's just in the midst of that. But it sucks at the same time.
Matthew Roy got his first goal as a Steelhead and of his
Mason Roy.
OHL, whatever. Roy got his first goal as a Steelhead and first as an OHL player. Um, so that was exciting to see. And McGregor Richmond also scored on Saturday. So that brings his goal total out of four on the season.
Yeah, I just want to say something as well about the Jakob Fibiger return. So of course we're season ticket holders, so we're at the game. We were walking the concourse, like this was way before warmups. This is like maybe a half hour before warmups. We just
Yeah.
went and grabbed game sheets off like one of the tables they have at CA Center where you can see what the lineup is that day. And as we're walking back to our section, it's literally like the funny thing ever. Like Jakob Fibiger has like his hood up, like so Andrew didn't notice this, but I did. Like we're walking, we're looking at
I was, in my defense, I was reading the game sheet.
yeah. We are both looking at the game sheet. I look up for a brief second. I see it's Fibiger, but he's kind of like it's almost like he was hiding in a way because I've never really seen him with his hood up because he had his like he was wearing like one of those workout hoodies.
He probably had his headphones in too.
Yeah, probably had his headphones, and that's
That's
probably a good
probably
thing
why
because
his hood was up. He probably had headphones in.
yeah, and like so he's walking by. I look up for a brief second. I see it's Fibiger. I give him like a little wave, and he's like, "Oh hey, what's up, guys?" And then Andrew was just so confused, and he's like, "What the? Who was that guy that just said?" I'm like, "That was Jakob Fibiger," and he's like, "That was Fibiger," and I'm like, "Yeah, that was Fibiger. Why else would he say what's up, guys? Because he would obviously recognize like not recognize us because of the podcast, but because we're season ticket holders with the Steelheads. Like we had those events that we obviously got a picture with him at the bowling event before he went off to the World Juniors that we posted on our social media, and it was just funny to me that
Like
Andrew
I
didn't notice
said,
it.
I was focused on the game sheet. In my defense, because I was looking at
Yeah, we're looking at all the new names
all the new
because there's a
names,
lot of them.
used to all the new names. So
Yeah, there was a
that's
lot of
my defense. Um,
there was a
again,
lot of them. That's a fair
a lot
point.
of a lot of penalties again on Saturday. Like I count like 6 or 7 penalties. Um,
Yeah,
Green
and
Tree Green.
obviously Reed he gets a lot of penalty minutes, but his penalty minutes are more justified when he's fighting most of the time.
I mean, yeah, Gee got roughing, Patton
Yeah,
got knee,
yeah, but he always seems to get
Kowski got
penalty at every game, but his is justified because I wouldn't say that's his role necessarily, but if you need a guy to fight,
he is the
JR
guy
is
that
going right to him saying he's going to JR is going to Reed Gee saying, "Hey, let's start something to hype up the boys. Like we're down by a couple goals, let's hype them up."
yeah, Witkowski got a boarding penalty and then a fighting, then Mason Roy for interference. We've talked about this a couple times, but Julian Demiglio, how many times are you gonna get a delay of game penalty?
Yeah, I think he's just I think his nickname is probably gonna be delay of game Demiglio at some point.
Because not only has he shot the puck over the glass a handful of times, but he's also won the face-off with his hand a couple of times as well, which is
Yeah, those
which is
penalties are
also
like
delay
yeah
of game.
those are the most interesting penalties. Like I understand like why you might have the urge to like play the puck with your hand. Like say you get tied up and your stick like when your hand comes off the stick and you just like oh I'm just gonna swipe at it. Like obviously that's a hand pass, so like obviously the whistle would be blown
It would be
down. Like
going dead no matter what. But when you're doing it in the face-off, it is against the rules because you're not supposed to
cover it.
cover the puck with your hand at all, really.
It's
Um,
different if you're like just trying to swipe it because you're not covering the puck technically. If you just like do it like a little swipe,
Even with that, it's still a
yeah,
no no
it won't be a
face-off because
it wouldn't
because
be a
that's an
penalty
advantage.
necessarily. Yeah, it
It's an
wouldn't be a
advantage. But
penalty. Yeah, it wouldn't be a penalty, but the ref would blow the whistle down and say no, you can't do that
it
kind of thing.
depends on the situation, right? Like if his whole hand is over the puck while he's doing it, then yes, that's a penalty. But you can make
Yeah,
the case if you're winning the face-off and your side of your hand here hits it, then you can
yeah,
make the the argument. But regardless, having your hand over the puck in the face-off is a penalty.
yeah. Like that's just another form of delay of game now. Like obviously at one point there in the game there was not that wasn't a delay of game penalty.
Yeah. So then we move on to Oshawa. Ugh.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Like obviously we went with one of our Oshawa Generals buddies.
I mean, again, Bowen. I don't
Yeah,
know. I've run out of things to say, but Bowen again didn't look great. Um, the Steelheads themselves in the first period looked horrible. 2 shots.
yeah. But then they picked it up in the next two
Like
periods.
I understand that's your third game in 3 days, but 2 shots in 20 minutes. They also had a lot of penalties in the first period. Let's not
Yeah,
be wrong about that. Like 45 seconds in, David Green goes for roughing. Then minute 23, Amato goes for hooking. 250, Mason Roy for high sticking. It's 4 minutes. 728, Zach Nyman goes for holding. And then at 18:33, Thomas Kuipers goes for hooking.
Kuipers,
So then,
Kuipers. I think I'm pretty sure it's Kuipers, but he's not. He hasn't been up long enough for us to know the answer to
so the
that.
Steelheads themselves had 6 penalties in the first period.
Yeah, that's just a formula to lose a hockey game. Like I get it, it's junior hockey. There's gonna be a lot of penalties in the game no matter what, because you're still kind of learning. Like, okay, what's a penalty, what's not a penalty at that point in your young
So
career.
there was 9 penalties in total in the first period. 6 for Brampton, 3 for Oshawa. So like the refs were like I'm all for it. Like penalties are penalties. You can't let them go. But at the same time, 9 in 1 period.
Yeah, that's extreme. Between two
So
teams, that's a little extreme. It's like you'd think when you see those numbers, you'd think, oh, was there like a brawl at some point?
that's what you
Nope,
would
there was
think,
no
right?
brawl.
Like we thought
There's
it
no
might
brawl.
get we thought it might get scrappy because they're both teams in last in their conference or their divisions.
Yeah,
So
the
I
losing
thought it would
streak
be
was ending
scrappy.
that day. The losing streak was ending.
Yeah.
It just wasn't Steelhead's losing streak.
Yeah, and then there was only two penalties in the second, and then five penalties in the third. So, and and it was a fighting major for two of those penalties.
Yeah, I'm
So,
pretty sure he was in one of them.
no heart rate.
All right, that's right.
So, and then as I was saying to you about David Green, in 45 seconds into the first period getting a penalty, um, he was the only steelhead he was the only steelhead that scored that day.
Yeah, and I didn't even see the goal. I was like too into the con. I was with our Oshawa Jonas boy. We are having I don't even remember what we were talking about. But next thing I know, I kind of look and I'm like, oh, the Steelers scored. Nice. I didn't even see it.
But
Maybe
yeah,
I just need to do that more. I just should not pay attention at games and then they'll score goals.
like it was just a bad 3 games for the Steelheads. Bad
Yeah.
like bad 6 games really on their 6 game
Yeah.
losing streak.
I feel like
So
these guys, like, they're still kind of like trying to figure out how to like play a game together. But I feel like you can't I can't be using that excuse much longer of like, oh, you're still new guys are still here kind of thing. I feel like that excuse is kind of getting
that's
too
out
old.
the window now because they've had a full 2 weeks together now. Like they've
Yeah,
had
that's out
multiple
the window.
practices.
Yeah,
I'd
you
say
can't
that
use that
even
excuse.
last weekend
Yeah,
that that you're over it because they had a week to get their practices in to learn the systems, um, learn how each other play. So,
yeah, totally.
but yeah, so now in terms of team stats, it's kind of sad now because we
Don't
don't have
even say. Do
anybody.
we still not have a guy with 10 plus goals because we traded all the guys that had?
Yep, exactly. Kieran Wachowski has 9 goals,
That leads the
so
team.
he leads the team in goals, and it's uh, Amit Devosky who
He still
has
hasn't
eight.
scored with the Steelheads yet, but
Hasn't
he
scored with
had eight
Steelheads yet,
goals.
but he had 8 goals with his other team. Um,
Leads the
then,
67.
then Demiglio has 8. Patton has 8. Stankoven with 6. Eccleston with 5. So yeah, like you still got to get people like uh, Amato, um, Daniels, and those type of guys going like because
Yeah, and I'm gonna put this out there. Tonight's the night the Steelheads got a 10 plus goal scorer. I feel
they
confident in the
don't play
guy.
tonight.
Huh?
They don't play tonight. They play tomorrow and Sunday.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean tomorrow, not tonight. You have brain farts often. I do too.
Yeah,
You said Matthew Roy. It's Mason Roy.
yeah, I did say Matthew Roy earlier. So
Okay,
yeah,
but yeah, they play tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I manifest. I'm gonna say this right now. Kieran Wachowski, Amidovsky, Demiglio, or Patton. One of those guys is gonna reach 10 goals tomorrow. I have confidence in that just because they're playing Barry. Because for big reasons, Parker Von Richter and Mason Zabeski, obviously our two of the guys that we trade were on the who are on the leadership group. Which I'm still very curious what's gonna happen with that leadership group because we still haven't really
yeah, we
even
still
named
have no
all.
clue.
Yeah, we thought maybe in Oshawa, oh, maybe we'll see a couple guys with an A on their jersey. We see,
I still
see,
think I still think it's coming.
yeah. I feel like JR is really taking his time with this because he's got to think like he's got to look at all these new guys he brought in and be like, okay, who's gonna be here next season? Who's
And,
not? Like 30 committed to NCAA and all that stuff.
and that's why I'm saying I think it's still gonna happen. Wait and see. But I
If
think
there's no captain name this year, there's gonna be four alternates.
yeah. Well, let's look at the standings now. Sad part of the show for us. In the East, Brantford and Ottawa are tied in terms of points.
Oh, that's gonna be a good race to coming now
Yes.
to like the towards the end of the season. Like, that's gonna be a
Yeah.
fun little race to watch.
Peterborough has 51, and then Kingston has 42, and then Oshawa with 22 with their win against the Steelheads. Um, Barrie leads the Central with 64 points, 14 points up on North Bay, who sits in second with 50. Niagara has 44, Sudbury with 35. Steelheads are only 4 points back on Sudbury. So there's still a slight chance, but
Still, for all intents and purposes, we're still in it. Like I feel like if the players can just push together a few wins, like we're still very well in the hunt.
I'm not saying it's over, but it's highly unlikely. Um,
Yeah. Highly unlikely, but I do have some belief with these guys. Like some of these guys are very, very good players. They just haven't really had the chances to
I,
shine just because of the shadows of the Zabeskis and Von Richters. That's
I'm
how I'm
not
gonna.
disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying it's going to be a hard battle. Um,
Oh yeah, it is.
in the Midwest Division, Kitchener has a 7 point lead over London, and Owen Sound is in third, 13 points back of London. Then 12th is tied with Owen Sound with 40, and Erie sits last with 30. And then finally, the West Division, Windsor and Flint are tied in points with 64. Sault Ste. Marie has 56, Saginaw with 41, and then Sarnia is wrapping up that division with 31 points. In the conference,
That's where
well,
the that's where the playoff standings really indicate stuff.
12 holds the final spot in the West Division or Western Conference, and Sudbury holds the last spot in the Eastern Conference. Again, the Steelheads 4 points back of Sudbury, but Sudbury also has a couple games against the Steelheads that they have won. So if a tiebreaker
I think
happens,
they still have a couple to play this season,
they
don't they?
do. Yeah, but
Yeah, so those are gonna
right
be the
now,
real indicators right there.
but let's say the season stopped next week, and the Steelheads tied. Tiebreaker would go to Sudbury right now.
Yeah. So those two games upcoming against Sudbury are gonna be big ones for the team. I feel like they're just gonna be kind of like I feel like they need to go out there with a little bit of rage, just because they're gonna be like pissed off that the last two games they played against them were losses, especially the one in Sudbury where they absolutely destroyed them.
So let's talk real quick. What can the Steelheads do to turn around this losing streak? Because it's at 6 games now. What do they got to do to turn it around, in your opinion?
My personal opinion, I feel like the defense needs to do a better job of not taking penalties because I feel like a lot of our penalties recently, like even though the last few games the forwards have taken a lot of penalties, I feel like all the time we're seeing a defenseman in the penalty box, and it's always one of our top guys, like a David Green or Reed Gee going in the box. But Reed Gee, like I've said earlier, his penalties are usually justified with fights because he's not usually taking stupid penalties like most of the time. But like guys like David Green and Peter, just the Green brothers in general, both of them have been taking dumb penalties recently. So I feel like the key to that, to the Steelers winning, is not only just getting goals, but like having our defense on the ice to help the goalies out. Like, and obviously, I feel like the goalie right now should be Luke Johnson in net. Like, I feel like Bowen it's at the point with Bowen where we can't be. Like, if you're trying to, you're still in the playoff hunt. Like, I feel like it's at the point you gotta ride the hotter
Give
hand, and I feel
Johnson
like
a
that's Luke
chance.
Johnson.
Give him a
Yeah,
chance to win the net.
yeah. Luke Johnson has earned the right, like, to at least put up a conversation about that.
And yeah, so yeah, I agree with you on that one. Cause yeah, Johnson deserves a chance. Um, less penalties obviously is better.
Yeah, because
Their
scoring's coming
power
around. Like
play
the first
needs to
couple
get
games,
going.
yeah, power play needs to get going. But like goal scoring in general, in the first couple games, like they only scored one goal a piece in those games. But now they're starting to like kind of click the forwards as well. Like we're seeing more than one goal a game. Like that's what you want to have.
Yeah, but the power play, that's their big
Yeah,
thing. Other than goaltending, their power play needs to get going. It's been awful.
yeah. Even though the
It's
one game you didn't go to, the day where they trade Gabriel Sherratt, all their goals came on the power play. That's probably the last time the power play actually looked really good when all their goals came on it.
that's what I mean though. Like they need to their power play needs to get going here. Um, well, Jason, our 3 stars of the weekend is now upon us. Um,
Yes.
for me, my my third star, oh my, I guess would be
Really thinking
McGregor Richmond.
really thinking about
Uh,
that one.
well, because it's hard when they're on a losing streak like this. It's hard to pick 3 players because the team hasn't been playing well. Um,
Yeah, it
so
is a tough task.
my second star, um, let's give it to Roy for his first OHL goal. And Troy Pine had a great weekend. I'll give him my first star.
For me, I'll say third star is definitely Mason Roy. Like you only get one first career goal in the OHL once, and it was a good goal. Like I'm so happy. Like I feel like he is really cementing himself as part of the future of the Steelheads, which is what you want to see, obviously. Like and it's very exciting. Second star, I'm going to give it to Carter Hicks. He had a great first few games of the Steelheads. Like at one point, he was one of the only new guys to have a point. Like he had 3 points right off the bat, and I feel like he's just going to continue to produce for them, which is what you want to see. My first star, I'll give it to McGregor Richmond. Obviously, like he had a great weekend scoring a goal, but he on the ice, like I feel like he's starting to like really cement himself, like not just as a leader, but like as one of the top players on the Steelheads, just because he's putting in strong shifts now.
Well,
Like,
they don't have anybody else either.
yeah, they don't have
So
anybody else. That is very
he
true.
he turned it from a fourth line guy starting the season to a second line guy now because they don't have anybody else that
No,
can.
on opening night. I got the game sheet right here. He was on the second line.
Well, after the opening night, he got moved back down to the fourth line. Okay, so
Hey,
that
he's still a second line guy because Keaton Arda
that,
is our top line, top
scared me
what right
more
wing.
than when we're in the inter squad games and McGregor Richmond's on the first line.
Hey, that was fun though.
That
I got
was
a
fun,
point and he didn't even know what he did.
especially then
Funniest thing
he
ever.
gets the box
Yelling at the refs, "Hey, what I
what
do?"
I do.
Just
But
banging the glass. Like that was probably one of the funniest things that we've ever seen Richmond do.
yeah, like he like you said, he does deserve the extra ice time. He's put in the work. He's getting some goals now, which is great to see.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking forward to Kitchener next month because he always seems to score against Kitchener.
so this weekend, like Jason mentioned earlier, they face Barrie tomorrow, and then Niagara on Sunday. So quick 2 games on the road, and then next week they have the 3 games in 3 nights or in three
Yep.
days, however you want to put it. But we will set that one up next week. Um, our Steelheads alumni for today's episode is Cole Schmidt. He played 3 seasons with the Steelheads. Um, had pretty good numbers. His best season being his last one in 2020, with 28 goals, 43 assists for 71 points. Um, the year prior, he scored 19 goals with 30 assists, and his first season with the Steelheads, 8 goals, 10 assists. So,
Yeah, he really developed into a really
player,
good solid player over the years with the Steelheads. Obviously, he was a part of those teams with like Owen Tippett and Ryan McLeod as well. For McLeod and Tippett's last few years in the Steelheads before they were shipped off to Saginaw.
yeah, but yeah, like if you talk about a good, productive player in the OHL who produced well with one team, other than like a Mason Zabeski or Owen Tippett type player, you look at Cole Schmidt because
Yeah, his numbers were
that
like I feel
guy
like he learned a lot from like the Tippetts and Ryan McLeod's because like once those guys left, he really excelled. Like it's like Tippett almost gave him the formula on how to be successful in the O.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like once they were gone, like Schwitt really turned into like the top player on the Steelheads.
exactly. But yeah, so we'll see what happens this weekend. Hopefully, they can end their losing streak.
I don't
But
have high hopes against for Barry just because of how strong of a force they are, but you never know. In hockey, like they could really just come out and just say we want it more kind of thing.
yeah, we'll like I said, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they can end their losing streak and put that behind them and start getting some points back. But we'll see what happens. But until then, until our next episode next week, when we recap it all, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Here's hoping
But
we're recapping at least a win. At least one win.
yeah, just one.
That would be very nice.
But yeah, then we'll set up next week's 3-3, which, if all is planned, we will be going to all 3 games.
Yeah.
So
We finally get a home game again.
yeah,
Our final one of the month. We only had three all month. We're only having three all month of the month of January.
but yeah, so yeah, we'll set up the 3-3 and go from there. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.